In the long and storied history of the NFL, there have been over 9,000 games. Although there are degrees of importance in every contest, a few remain frozen in the memory. They're the ones that stretch the emotion so that everyone, fans, coaches, and players alike, are drained by game's end. Above all, they're fights to the finish, battles resolved in the final seconds. Now, one classic heartstopper unfolded in 1991 in Denver, where quarterback John Elway may have played his way into the Hall of Fame and led the Broncos to another incredible comeback win.
Even from the cheapest seats in Mile High Stadium, the sight, sounds, and noise of a playoff game were evident on Saturday.
They come to the wrong house, my brother. They come to the wrong house. Ah! 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 Let's rock, baby. We got to turn it up. Got to turn it up. Talking time is over. Party time. Yeah.
The babbling Broncos and their raucous fans make Mile High more than unpleasant for opponents, and Warren Moon was looking for a sympathetic ear before the game.
Once I knock it off the first time, just try to get a snap off.
Okay, now what if you think I can here? What are you going to do?
If I think you can here, I'm just going to tell you to play.
Keep going.
Keep playing. All right? Okay.
Thank you.
Not only would Moon have to deal with 76,000 Bronco maniacs, he'd also have to face the conference's #1 ranked defense.
The great things we got going for us: poise, patience, and knowledge. Y'all know what they're going to do. Let's take control now. Ready? Right.
Time is over. Time to get busy.
Busy is what Moon's arm was this year. He completed a single-season record 404 passes and wasted little time finding the man who caught 100 of them. Haywood Jeffries' 49-yard gain on the game's first play from scrimmage set up this touchdown 3 plays later. Moon had won the first battle with Denver's secondary, but this war would have many battles. Sometimes the Broncos found Oiler receivers a sitting duck.
Oh, yeah.
Other times they were like fighter jets that couldn't be caught.
Oh. No, I didn't see anyone come across. Well, Jeffries, he was running up. Because as a 5, he was going to the seam, and then he started going like a 6 route. Six. He's running for me. He's grabbing me. The first one? Yeah. Get under him and keep going. Okay, but it's going to be only 2 yards. That's right. Just get under him and then build to death as you go. Y'all sell the hell out that blitz. We're faking the blitz. Cover 6. Cover 6. Go, man. Sell the hell out that blitz, man.
Gibbons lines up tight to the right. Now he goes in motion. And here comes Moon again to the end zone. Wide open touchdown. Pass completed to Drew Hill.
He jumped outside of Drew. But he jumped outside of him.
With Houston leading 14-0, the Broncos were down. But with John Elway around, they are never out.
Elway waits for the ball. Back he goes. There's the pass. Touchdown.
Vance Johnson got Denver on the scoreboard, but the extra point was missed, and so too was a great opportunity to score again when a roughing the passer penalty nullified a Steve Atwater interception.
Terrible call. Did you see the damn thing on the replay? If you call him for that, that was a terrible call. That's what I called for.
Despite Dan Reeves' protest, the call did stand, and Moon made sure the Oilers would benefit from it.
No field goal. We want touchdown, baby. We want touchdown.
4 receivers out. Big play here. Here's Moon with the ball. He's going to throw on it. He's got time. Here's the pass to the end zone. It's a touchdown. Duncan makes
Moon's third touchdown of the half had the Oilers up by 15, but in his efforts to put the Broncos away, he threw one away.
Warren Moon. He's got time again. Down the middle it goes. And it is intercepted by Atwater.
Moon completed 16 of 19 for over 200 yards and 3 scores in the first half. But his interception gave some much-needed confidence to Denver's defense.
Plays like that, man. You got to start making some more like that.
And gave the ball back to John Elway's offense. 39 seconds to go in the half, rookie Greg Lewis helped pull the Broncos within 8. And he also helped teach Chris Dishman an unwritten axiom of the NFL. No matter how hard you try, you can't keep the Broncos down in Mile High Stadium.
Yeah. We gonna come back on their ass. We coming back on their ass.
In the second half, Elway continued to bring Denver back, and as a sign of things to come, he was saving his best for down.
This is a fourth down play. Being flushed out. Here's the pass. Caught by Young. First down. Gets away. 30, 25, 20. He's down to the 16-yard line. Here's the count by John. Here's the give to Lewis. Lewis scores. Touchdown.
Lewis's second score with a little under 7 minutes to go helped pull the Broncos within 1 point. It was up to the defense to find a way to stop Moon and give the ball back to Elway. The Broncos held, and with just over 2 minutes to go, Elway took over at his own 2. It was deja vu for Denver.
This game is far from over. I've seen this club move too many times.
5:4:23 to score. Elway in the shotgun and in the end zone. Here's his pass. It's caught.
Elway would complete just 3 of 9 passes on this drive, but his feet and his heart may be more dangerous weapons than his arm.
Down to 1:28. Here's the snap. He's got some time. Flushed out. Rolls out. Being chased. Here's Elway. First down at the 35-yard line.
Elway's 7-yard run on 4th and 6 kept the drive alive, and 4 plays later, he was finding more remarkable ways to frustrate and confuse the Oilers on 4th and 10.
Here's the 4th down and 10 play. Elway's got the ball. John is back. Runs up out of the pocket. Lets the pass go. It's caught. Johnson to the 40. 30.
I'll tell you what. Say what you want to. I don't think I want anybody back there except number 7.
25. They're out of bounds. At the 21-yard line of the Oilers. John Elway.
I tell you, you ought to knife the guy.
It's all you, baby. It's all you. Yeah, it's all you, baby. Yeah.
Here we go, baby. Here we go. Here we go. Take your down. Take your down.
First and 10 at Houston's 21. Here's Elway on the count. He is going to give the ball to Sewell. Sewell swings to the 20, to the 15, to the 11-yard line. Steve Sewell.
With 20 seconds to go, it was up to Denver's kicker, David Treadwell. Number 7 had done his part.
Kubiak will hold. Here's the snap. The kick is good! Broncos lead, 26-24.
Gary Kubiak did a marvelous job of getting it down. And he and Treadwell right now, the happiest people in Mile High Stadium. This place is a madhouse. 76,000 plus have lost their minds in Mile High Stadium. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable finish.
And this place has gone bananas as the Broncos, with one of their greatest, come from behind win. Denver, 26. Houston, 24.
We've all got something to celebrate. Empire's having a great sale on carpet with no
Technology seem to produce something new every day. That's why we at Cellular Center make it our business to be on top of every new development and pass along to our customers, some who've been coming to us for over 10 years. In that time, we've gone from analog to digital technology, bringing the cost of airtime and cellular phones down to an all-time low. So now, anyone can afford to go cellular. If you want the newest, state-of-the-art phone or pager, come to Cellular Center, your Cellular One authorized dealer.
Come see us in Willowbrook, Payless Park, and Lockport.
Like that? No. Oh, man. Cool. Thanks, Sweet.
In 1986, the Cleveland Browns rolled to a 12-4 record in their second straight AFC Central title. Then, in their first postseason game, the Browns, who have played in more overtime games than any team in the NFL, well, they were involved in another fight to the finish. And after regulation time, Cleveland had to work twice as hard, 2 overtimes, in fact, before a decision was reached.
It's the Browns against the Jets here at Cleveland Stadium.
All right, Rob. All right, baby.
Cleveland with a lot of momentum after the regular season, having won their last 5 games and 7 of their last 8, primarily through the offensive heroics of Bernie Kosar.
Hang on, folks. Fasten your seatbelts. We could have a shootout here on the lakefront. First and 10 from the Jets 37. Fake handoff, fake reverse. Kosar going to throw deep down the right side. Patno wide open at the 10. 5. Touchdown, Browns.
Amidst the playoff pandemonium, Bernie Kosar was in complete control. The youngster scaled new heights in the NFL record book. 33 of 64 for 489 yards. Against the Jets, Kosar and company shared the spotlight with Archer's pass rush that tied a league record with 9 sacks. But a Super Bowl sign surfaced. It appeared the Browns' heroics would be wasted. For the Jets staged a comeback.
McNeil finds some room. McNeil still on his feet to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown! The Jets are going to win this football game. The Jets are going to the AFC Championship.
Well, the fat lady hasn't sung yet, but you can believe she's in the wings warming up the pipes. Browns have to score on this drive.
Take him all the way, Bernie. Take him home.
Bernie throwing deep down the left side. Slide.
I tell you what, those people at left better come on, because this ball game is not over.
Now here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up. It is good, and the game is tied. The Browns have come back from an unbelievable disaster. Bernie the Kid looked bad for a moment, but when the pressure was on, he came back and got the 10 points he needed. This place is absolutely bedlam. The stadium has gone berserk.
But the best was yet to come in Pandemonium Palace.
Hey, we've been here before. You remember? We've been here before, not once, but twice. Now, 3rd time's the charm for us. Hey, one play at a time. Here we go, here we go.
By stopping New York on 3 straight, Cleveland's defense dominated double overtime. Their clutch set up the winning score.
Here we go. 37 snap, the kick is up. It is good. The Browns have won the game. The Browns have won the game in double overtime, and the stadium has gone berserk.
Thank you. Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
A young quarterback today threw for 489 yards to bring his team back in the final 3 minutes of regulation play, and the Browns will play for the AFC Championship, folks. The stadium is pandemonium here. Cleveland Municipal Stadium has never seen a sight like this in its storied tradition. A double overtime, 23-20 Browns victory.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. 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 Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
The guy that signed the paycheck got something. The old timers here, I guess it's Clay and Ozzie. No, I don't make many
locker room talks. But other than perhaps the 1964 championship upset victory over Baltimore, this team today made me the proudest of my entire career.
Attention, citizens, if you plan to be on the road seeking fun and recreation this summer, here's an important tip. Nothing beats 1-800-COLLECT for staying in touch. It's easy to use and costs 10 cents a minute every evening. And as Mr. Chaz McFeely here learned, failure to use 1-800-COLLECT can get you in trouble. So there you have it. Dial 1-800-COLLECT. It's easy, you can save a bundle, and you'll keep our furry friends happy. 1-800-COLLECT. 10 cents a minute every evening.
Adrenaline rushing, heart pounding, heavy breathing. It's almost as much fun as your first date. Royal Caribbean, like no vacation on Earth.
This weekend, NASCAR Winston Cup Happy Hour, Saturday at 9. The race is on. Core Off-Road Racing, Sunday at 5. If it moves fast, looks cool, and wins races, it's on ESPN2. Dayton Indy Lights Championship, Sunday at 7. All kinds of racing, all weekend long. The race is on ESPN2.
The finest Super Bowl ever played provided an exciting climax to the 1990 season. Super Bowl 25 featured power running, pressure defense, and a heart-pounding finale. The game offered a contrast in styles. The Giants, they were the plodding, methodical ones. The Bills, up-tempo with a no-huddle offense. Super Bowl 25 put these two teams on a collision course, and the game turned out to be super in the truest sense of the word.
World events had clouded Super Bowl Sunday with fear and trepidation. It was a game some said they shouldn't even play. But inside Tampa Stadium, a different kind of feeling took hold. It was a force that grabbed the hearts of players and fans alike. And everyone there knew the show was to go on.
Showtime, hey, baby. What you talking about? Showtime. Talk to me. Talk to me. Showtime.
Penetration into Bills territory. Megas on the right side, takes the handoff, and is tripped. He gets up on his feet, continues to move. 40, 45-yard line.
The Giants controlled the flow at the outset and took a 3-0 advantage. But the lead vanished after little more than a minute, under a stampede of Buffalo offense.
Dropping back to pass, they blitz off the side. Here's a long throw downfield. And it is deflected and caught by Lawson.
Go! Hey, big leg! Keep going, baby.
The Bills' no-huddle offense had tied the game and had the Giants' coaching staff in knots, trying to slow it down.
Kelly waiting. John Smith drives in for the touchdown.
Buffalo's offense celebrated its 10-3 lead, which signaled its defense to get down to business.
It's time to put the heat on them now. Party's over, baby. Let's just turn it up.
The Bills laid Jeff Hostetler out 3 times, and if he wasn't seeing stars, he may have been hearing bells tolling midnight on his Cinderella postseason.
Catch in the end zone.
Buffalo's defense had the Giants' offense in a vice grip until Hostetler turned to the one man Giants quarterbacks have counted on all season, Otis Anderson.
Giants have a second and a long 4. O.J. has the ball. Through a hole, he's got a first down and more. 30, 35, 36-yard line. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on.
So we mentioned it was gut check time, and these Giants just passed that gut check. Came down and scored 7 when they needed it.
New York began the second half by launching a drive that defined the very essence of Giant football. Power of football that underscored exactly how they got to Super Bowl 25.
Barking out the signals, has the ball in the pocket. Throws over the top. He's got Meggett. Meggett will get a first down.
The Giants bashed downfield on a 14-play meat grinder, the most time-consuming drive in Super Bowl history. It was an assault spearheaded by MVP Otis Anderson and highlighted by Mark Ingram.
12-10 the score. Buffalo. Third quarter. Hostetler has the ball on the snap. Throws. Complete. He's got Ingram for maybe a first down. He'll try to the 20. Yes, he got it.
After the catch, 7 yards and 5 tacklers lay between Ingram and a first down marker that appeared hopelessly out of reach.
What effort. What effort.
Caught that ball at the 25 and got free of 3 separate tackles. I didn't think there was any chance to be able to do it. A nice spin move, a cutback, great athletic play.
It's been a long, long clock-eating drive.
James, this drive is taking almost 10 minutes.
Giants on the 1.5-yard line. O.J. touchdown.
A lead that took the Giants 9.5 minutes to achieve was wrestled away by the Bills with a quick strike that took only 4 plays and a minute and a half. In a display of power and speed, Thurman Thomas rushed for a game-high 135 yards. And his 31-yard touchdown on the first play of the fourth quarter gave the Bills a slim 2-point edge. Hostetler and the Giants answered with yet another marathon 14 journey as Matt Barr calmly drilled one more clutch postseason field goal. The stage was set for a heart-stopping finish in what would become the greatest Super Bowl ever.
If you're a Bills fan now, you got to believe. If you're a Giants fan, now they say, hey, you got to hold them.
In the final 2 minutes, the Bills raced desperately down to the New York 29. The Giants led by a single point. 8 seconds remained. The fate of both teams rested on the leg of Scott Norwood.
Oh, boy. Hearts beat faster in Buffalo. High drama here in the Super Bowl. Here comes number 11, Scott Norwood. Incredible.
What a fine game. What an absolutely fine game.
Scott Norwood. He can fire the shot heard round the world now and win a Super Bowl.
Ball will be spotted at the 37-yard line.
The Super Bowl will ride on the right foot of Norwood.
Back, spot, in the air, got the distance, it is.
Super Bowl 25. The silver anniversary had produced a true champion. The New York Giants stood alone atop the summit. World champions of professional football.
Here comes the skipper. Looks like there's going to be some fireworks now.
What are you doing tonight? Tyler and I don't have any plans. Great! Smokey and his wife are coming to my house for dinner. Would you like to join us? That'd be great! If I can beat the champion, I'll pick up some Bud Light. Bud Light! Looks like you're out of here. I'll see you and the wife tonight.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You have a beautiful home here. Oh, thank you very much.
Bristol students are serious football fans, and they can get pretty upset when things don't go their way. There was no darker day in Bristol's history than when the Broncos changed their uniform.
NFL Countdown, Sundays and Mondays starting September 6th on ESPN.
Before joining the NFL in 1950, the Cleveland Browns had thoroughly dominated the All-American Football Conference and won that league's championship in each of its 4 years of existence. At first, the established NFL, well, they didn't take these Browns very seriously until the Browns destroyed the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles on opening day. And before the NFL could recover, the Browns had steamrollered their way to the championship game, and there they met the Los Angeles Rams, the highest-scoring team in league history.
To me, that was the greatest single football game I ever saw. I think it was the greatest array of players in one given game. Many, many of them are now in the Hall of Fame. The Waterfields, the Van Brocklins, the Grahams, Lavellis, Groses, they were innumerable.
The 1950 NFL championship game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Cleveland Browns featured 11 future Hall of Famers. No other game in history can make that claim. Both teams had sleek offensive attacks that stamped them as pioneers in the pro football world. And yet until 1950, the Browns had not played a game in the National Football League.
We had heard a lot of the Browns. They had dominated that All-American League that we're in. And Otto Graham, of course, was one of the greatest throwers of all time. Their team had great balance.
They had some awfully fine football players. You know, when you talk about Graham and Max Speedy, Lavelli, Dub Jones, Marion Motley, those are football names that are pretty well etched in history, you know.
The Rams had their share of all-timers at 1950. They established an NFL standard, averaging nearly 40 points per game. One more element made this game a compelling study.
The Rams left Cleveland that year to go to Los Angeles, and we replaced the Rams in Cleveland. So here they were coming back this next year, having been in Cleveland, playing in Cleveland against the new Cleveland team.
We went back to Cleveland on a very, very cold day, and the field was frozen.
It was a bitter cold day. It seesawed back and forth. Waterfield was doing a great job in there, and so was Graham.
It was Waterfield and the Rams who exploded out of the starting blocks on the game's very first play from scrimmage.
I just outran the linebacker who was trying to cover me. So I was wide open, and Waterfield just lofted the ball to me, and it accomplished about 80 yards for a touchdown. Good way to start the game. We were very pleased with it because we'd been working on it for 3 or 4 days.
Browns quarterback and then reaffirmed his greatness. He overcame 2 first-half deficits and passed into the lead in the third quarter. 2 touchdowns in a span of 21 seconds regained the Rams' advantage at 28-20. As the temperature plummeted into the teens, Graham engineered a fourth-quarter comeback that still to this day commands admiration. The final of 9 completions culminated a scoring drive that brought the Browns to within a point with just over 4 minutes to play.
We were leading going into about 3 minutes of the end of the game. And all we had to do was control that ball.
We couldn't make a first down, so we had to kick.
We didn't have much time, maybe a minute to go.
Graham got out of a deep hole several times. He scrambled around. He kept the ball alive. One time it was 4th and 19, and somehow he made it.
It was vintage Graham, a large part of the reason why, in 10 seasons with the Browns, he quarterbacked in 10 championship games. Skillfully, he had the Browns at the 10-yard line with 30 seconds on the clock.
It was at this point I sent in the place-kicking unit, and our guys in the sideline started shaking hands with him, and just the game was over. This was a cold, raw day, and I said, don't do that. I had a feeling it was bad luck or something, but we settled down quickly.
And watch Lou Groza win the first of 3 NFL championships for the Cleveland Browns of the 1950s.
We got beat by a 17-yard field goal by Groza that I still don't think went through the goalpost, but they gave it to him, so that's the way it stood.
Both teams had super players. All-Americans. There's a concentrated group of athletes on both teams. And the fact that we were able to pull it out really keynoted the start of the success of the Browns over the years.
MVP. Many factors will determine the outcome. In the Snickers Shock Zone game, some bent the rules. Others lost their concentration. And then there was the infamous Siragusa straw incident. Collect Snickers wrappers and watch TV September 20th. If you've got the Shock Zone MVP, you've got $2 million. Who will it be? Whoever's left standing.
You gotta have it. Shock Jams Volume 4. 16 slamming tracks on one awesome CD. The biggest, the best, the hit. Shock Jams Volume 4. It will knock you out. Getting jiggy with it. Shock Jams Volume 4. In stores now. Yeah, baby.
Our world is under attack from deadly international terrorists. Introducing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, the most revolutionary action strategy PC video game ever. True to life special forces action, 3-dimensional graphics, plan your attack, execute the mission, save the world. Play as if 5.7 billion lives depended on it. Rainbow Six, enough excitement to last a lifetime. Red Storm Entertainment.
What sets some people apart, gives them the confidence to succeed on their own terms. It's no secret, it's the Wall Street Journal. Now you can have that confidence delivered for 13 weeks at just $36.75, just 57 cents a day. That's a 25% savings off our regular rate, which makes now a great time to try this limited time offer. Call now, 800-248-1300. That's 800-248-1300 for the Wall Street Journal.
For 11 weeks in 1986, it appeared as if the New York Jets were on their way to the Super Bowl. But after going 10-1, the Jets suffered 5 straight losses and showed none of the determination that helped them earlier when they beat Miami in a wild Week 3 contest. It was the Jets' ability to fight to the finish that made this battle against Miami the season's game of the year.
On September 21st, the Miami Dolphins traveled to the Meadowlands for an AFC Eastern Division showdown with the New York Jets. The coaches and players and over 71,000 fans would witness more than just another football game. They had a date with destiny. All afternoon, footballs flew at an alarming rate. The Jets' Ken O'Brien completed 29 passes, while Dan Marino Dolphins connected with Miami's number 13 gained 448 yards through the air, but New York's number 7 topped him with 479. 4 of O'Brien's passes went for touchdowns, and Marino countered with 6 scoring tosses. All in all, the Jets and Dolphins combined for 884 yards and 10 touchdowns, the most prolific passing performance in NFL history. But stats alone were not what made this wild game so memorable. It was the way it ended. With only 5 seconds remaining, Miami clung to a precarious 45-38 lead.
Jets 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line of the Dolphins. 5 seconds left in the game. O'Brien being rushed. O'Brien throwing over the middle. Wesley Walker, touchdown! Touchdown! There is no time remaining. Wesley Walker, touchdown Jets. They are going berserk. The Jets have time to score with no time left on the clock.
When I made the catch, I was in a dream world. I didn't realize what had happened, and I still don't. So he's all happy. And then the next thing I remember is just wanting to win the coin toss and get the ball back in our hands. And as soon as we won the coin toss, I knew we were going to score. We just, everything was going our way at that point.
O'Brien's back to throw. O'Brien throwing long down the sideline for Walker. And he got it! Touchdown! 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 The Jets win it! Touchdown! Wesley Walker with his 4th touchdown reception. The Jets are going berserk, and the Jets win it. The Jets win it. 51-45.
We've all got something to celebrate. Empire's having a great sale on carpet with no interest and no payments till the year 2000. Save 50% on every in-stock carpet with no payments in 98, no payments in 99, no payments at all till January 2000. You'll see samples in your home, get next-day installation, even a free gift. With no payments next year, no payments till 2000. Call now and join the celebration.
588-2300 Empire.
It's not about the belt. It's not about the record book. It's not about the prize. This time, it's personal. Oscar De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez, Ultimate Revenge. Live on pay-per-view, Friday, September 18th.
Sunday Night Football, ladies and gents, with the Raiders and the Chiefs.
He's not a pirate, you stoop. He's a Raider.
He's a bloodthirsty pirate, a swashbuckler. He's ready for battle.
Yeah, but he's wearing an eye patch. To keep him straight.
With a knife in his mouth. He's fearsome.
The knife isn't in his mouth. It's through his helmet.
Another good point.
Is everyone against me?
ESPN Sunday Night Football, the Raiders against the Chiefs. Coverage begins at 8:15. The Big Ben, the Hail Mary, a wing and a prayer, call it what you will, the last-second desperation pass may well be the most exciting play in football, when it works. The key is to be prepared when this do-or-die situation presents itself. Well, last season, the Atlanta Falcons found themselves in just this position, and it helped propel them into the playoffs for the first time in 10 years.
Seen this guy dance? The NFL hasn't seen this guy dance?
They will, what they do.
Yeah, this is the #1 dancer in the world.
No, Jerry, this guy is, and he's a big fan of yours.
Oh, I've been a Jerry Glanville, man, since the House of Pain. Something about that, you know, pain.
War. It's a real war. Turn this baby into real war. Hey, come here, you scared? Get the pups off!
Hey, Chris, can you take him again?
What's that?
I say, can you beat these guys a second time?
Oh, beating them twice, beating the 49ers, I sure hope so, man. That'd be great. That'd be great. I don't know how long it's been since they've done that around here.
Try 11 years.
You know, payback. It's a bitch.
Young underneath. The back's offset. In the end zone is Young. Running to the left to throw, and he's going to throw a long fly pattern, and we're going to try to cover it. He caught the ball, and he's going to run long for a touchdown down the right side. Taylor sprinting, Dion trying to catch him, and he can't do it. And suddenly, San Francisco, looking like Joe Montana, had hit a long one.
John Taylor's 97-yard touchdown was the longest pass play in 49ers history, and it started San Francisco's quest for revenge against Atlanta. But Taylor's score was about all that went right for the Niners in the early going. Mike Cofer missed 4 first-half field goals, and the NFC's highest-rated passer was sent to the sidelines with ligament damage to his knee. Steve Young may not be Joe Montana, but Steve Bono is no Young. And his Sonny Bono-like spiral hardly resembled that of a San Francisco quarterback. While the Bono-led Niners were struggling, Atlanta's backup quarterback, Billy Joe Tolliver, was trying to lead a fourth-quarter Falcon comeback.
Tolliver backs up and throws the rising on the goal line. Touchdown!
It's not short now. We moving on. We rolling on. We rolling on.
Hey, it's just a playoff game, baby. It's a playoff game.
And as it is with most playoff games, the team that makes the biggest blunder usually pays for it.
Fumble again. Pick it up. And the Falcons have got the ball. Tracy Johnson down around the 15.
That's a lot of time on that clock, too. If we make it, they still got 2 minutes and 43 seconds. If they had Joe Montana, I'd be worried. I'd be really worried. Come on, baby. Hit it, baby. It's playoff time, baby. Come on.
It's set down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. Now it's 10-7.
Go! I know if you had this much time, you'll beat us. That's all this guy do.
Yeah, Steve, let's wait until under a minute and then hit Taylor with a deep turnaround. Got it?
We got it.
You think you're watching Montana. Quarterback underneath. Bono going to take it and come back. And Bono throws a long one down the corner. Touchdown in the corner. Great catch. And the 49ers just broke everything we have right in half.
Taylor's second score gave San Francisco a lead, but it also set up the most fantastic of finishes.
9 seconds, 14-10.
Well, stranger things have happened. The Falcons have hit 2 of them in the past.
There goes Tolliver, a long, high pass, down in the corner, batted. They fight. Touchdown! 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 Oh, my gosh, that couldn't have happened. Ungodly. My God, somebody caught the ball. Hey, it's Michael Haynes. This is just incredible. And they have done what to us that I say before? Broke the heart. They broke everything.
For the third time in Atlanta history, Big Ben struck, and for the first time since 1980, the Falcons swept the season series with the 49ers.
Let's say Spider-Man is like Castrol Syntec motor oil. And this is a harmful particle in your engine. the point. You see Syntex patented stabilizers seek out and neutralize harmful particles, protecting in ways other oils can't. Castrol Syntex, the active lubricant.
Connect with Pro Performance Creatine. Research showed that creatine increased muscle performance by over 8%. And now during General Nutrition Center's Sports Nutrition Sale, you can pick up a kilo of Pro Performance Creatine made exclusively by GNC for only $49.99. That's only 25 cents a serving. Connect. Live strong. Live well.
It was billed as Super Bowl 8.5. It was the 1974 AFC playoff game. The Oakland Raiders, with the best record in the NFL, met the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Miami Dolphins. It was widely presumed that the winner would go on to win Super Bowl IX. As it turned out, neither team even made it to the Super Bowl. But on December 21st, 1974, the Raiders and Dolphins played a game for the ages.
In the early 70s, the Miami Dolphins were a portrait of perfection. Following two consecutive Super Bowl titles in 1972 and 73, the Dolphins were intent on capturing a third. However, in 1974, Miami wasn't the only team flying colors proudly. The Oakland Raiders were to pro football what Beard the Pirate and his motley crew were to the open seas. And the silver and black's ominous image was frighteningly evident when they hosted the Dolphins in the opening round of the playoffs.
When we came out for that game, there was more excitement in the stadium than I ever heard anywhere or felt anywhere. And everyone had a black handkerchief, and from the pregame warm-ups, they were wired in Oakland. We were playing the Dolphins, and it was going to be big. I'm excited, the team's excited, we're going to get them and all this stuff. And we kick off, you know, the opening kickoff crescendo, you know, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Whap, we kick the ball. They get the ball, and boom, all the way back. He runs, I think it was Nat Moore, ran it back 100 yards. And now here we were, you know, Black Sunday, Raiders, revenge, Dolphins, get them in Oakland, fans, crazy, team, crazy, good, gonna do it. And the opening kickoff in our park, and they run it back all the way. So now it's 7-0, you know, and the fans haven't even sat down yet.
The Raiders' fortunes went from bad to worse when their explosive passing attack failed to ignite. But while the offense let opportunities slip away, the Raiders' defense took a firm hold on the Dolphins' elusive running game. Oakland took pressure off its struggling offense by placing it on Miami's. And when the first quarter ended, the opening kickoff return remained the only score. The Raiders stuck with their passing game despite its early failure, and the all-out assault of the end zone eventually paid off. Charlie Smith's touchdown put Oakland on the board, and as the game wore on, the Raiders continued to focus their attention on the Dolphins' secondary. Fred Biletnikov's circus catch was ruled out of bounds, but Oakland's ringmaster called for a repeat performance.
Ball on the 13, 2nd and 10. Stay with that. Looks left, throws right. Biletnikov, a leaping pass. Touchdown!
Trailing for the first time, 14-10, Miami's Don Shula refueled his team's competitive fires. Left-footed Paul Warfield's touchdown helped put the Dolphins back on top, 19-14. However, in the fourth quarter, the Raiders answered the score with their own speed burner, wide receiver Cliff Branch, number 21.
We let you go take it. Right. I think you can get around the outside. I can run on the outside him. I can run under, you know. I can take it that way. Good job, good job.
They're going to the air now. Here's the deep from the Browns. Deep. He's got it!
Branch's 72-yard touchdown gave Oakland the lead once more. But with time becoming a factor, Miami called upon its punishing running attack to eat up both yardage and the clock on its way to the Raider end zone. Fullback Larry Zonka muscled his way to the Oakland 23, setting up halfback Benny Malone's Herculean effort that gave Miami a 26-21 lead. Just 2 minutes remained after Malone's touchdown. And while the time left seemed insufficient to the grieving Raiders, it seemed like an eternity to the concerned Dolphins.
I remember thinking that I wished on the scoring play that we had that put us ahead. I was concerned because there was so much time left. I knew that Stabler had the capacity to take that ball back down the field, and he did.
When you get in a pressure situation like that where everything's riding on a single play or two, there's no one that you'd rather have involved in that play than Kenny Stabler. He has the uncanny knack of putting a ball between people and between hands and just being able to slip things in there from all different angles, and that's exactly what he did.
With time running out, Stabler dashed Miami's hopes of a third consecutive title in dramatic fashion.
There he is, baiting, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught, he throws. It is.
When Stabler had to loop the ball up because he was hit as he threw, it looked like he might have been lobbing it into the promised land for Miami. But no, Davis got there first, and it was the Raiders' promised land.
Oakland's 28-26 win evoked emotional extremes, characteristic of only the greatest of games.
After the game, there was Don just crying, just letting it all out, crying, and afterwards saying he was just so disappointed that for the guy's sake. But this is the one time in my life that I've seen him actually just sit down and let the tears flow for a disappointment.
You'll never see a better game than this one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you'll agree.
Frankly, it was maybe the greatest football game I have ever seen. It was just incredible.
They began in summer, the legions of the sun. Super Bowl dreams that glowed in the summer sunshine. Victory is in the skies. A season awaits with glory in her eyes.
Boy, it's a hot one out there. It's going to be in scorches. You're going to be in feet. Don't forget the suntan lotion.
Something wrong, Flex?
I need to make a call, but unless I'm a change on the blanket.
I see, and your precious little tootsies can't bear the walk back, can they? No. Not to worry. Just dial 1-800-COLLECT. It's fast and really easy to use.
1-800-COLLECT's a lifesaver. How can I ever thank you?
Tell your friends. 1-800-COLLECT. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe.
Tennessee's post-Peyton Manning era opens with a tough one at Syracuse. Is T. Martin for real?
Tennessee-Syracuse. Saturday at noon only on ESPN.
So there you have it. 7 classic confrontations. 7 games to remember. Each one decided in the final seconds. When time and circumstance is just right, and when preparation meets opportunity, the end result is an unforgettable fight for the
NFL team highlight videos are brought to you by Edge Pro Gel. Lose the foam. Save your skin. After 2 consecutive seasons of playing crisp, efficient, playoff caliber football, the Indianapolis Colts seemed to lose their snap in 1997.
Blows that gets away from Justin. Be picked up by Reagan Upshaw and a bad snap that got away from Justin. The Colts keep shooting themselves in the feet and the arms and the legs and close to the head.
Dropped their first 10 games on the way to an NFL worst 3-13 record. But as soon as the season ended, owner Jim Irsay took bold steps to ensure a more positive future. To steer the team in a new direction, Irsay hired a pair of proven winners, head coach Jim Mora and president Bill Polian.
Do we have some talent? Yes. Does it have to play better? You bet. We've got to play better. We've got to play smarter. We've got to play more efficiently. We have to make plays when the chips are down. So those things have to improve. And I know that Jim Mora is working very hard to improve that, and he will. But in the end, it's the players that have to make the plays.
The Colts boast a solid group of playmakers. And last year, they demonstrated that during tough times, tough competitors don't quit.
Colts were involved in a lot of close games last year that they lost. The 2 previous years when they went to the playoffs, they were involved in a lot of close games that they won. They may have been just as talented last year as they were when they went 9-7 and went to the AFC Championship game. So you never know what can happen. We were 3-13 last year, but that doesn't mean that we can't be a very, very competitive team in 1998.